Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss UPSC CSC Prelims 2013 Economy quiz. The first question we have is balance of payment of a country is a systematic record of. So balance of payment is a term which is used when we have some trade with other countries. We have the trade of goods or any services or FDI from other countries, FII or remittances from other countries. So there's movement of money by any way. That is the balance of payment. So we need to look in the options. The first option is all import and the transactions of a during a given period, normally a year. It should also include the export also. These are also the part of the transactions. Second is goods exported from a country during the year. It is also not correct. Next is economic transaction between the government of one country to another. And this transaction can be for any purpose. Next is capital movement from one country to another. So this is correct. Economic transaction from between the government of one country to another. Next question. The Reserve Bank of India regulates the commercial bank in matters of. The first is liquidity of assets, branch expansion, merger of banks, wind up of banks. RBI has the aim of managing the work of all the commercial banks and providing various services to them. For example, if there is need to give them some support, they would give them support by using providing money to them at the repo rate, marginal standing facility, which is provided to give them loans overnight. There are various facilities which RBI manages for the banks because it is the uh, lender of last resort to the commercial banks. It manages the liquidity of the assets. It provides loans to them. It helps in the expansion of the branch of the banks and merger of the banks, winding up of banks. So all these functionality are performed by the Reserve Bank of India. Next question is an increase in the bank rate generally indicates that the if the bank rate is increased, rate of interest has shown some increase. What does it mean? First is market rate of interest is likely to fall. Rate of interest in the market is likely to fall. If there is increase in the bank rate, then this increase in the bank rate would have the impact on increase in rate of interest in market also. So it won't decrease it. It will have the impact on increasing this. This is not the right option. Then central bank is no longer making loans to the commercial banks. So it is also not correct. Central loan will still make loans. Next is central bank is following easy money policy. So if we are saying that the bank rate has increased, it means they have used the tighten money policy because they are trying to stop the expansion in the economy. That is why they have increased the interest rate. So if interest rate उन्होंने increase किया है banks का, तो अगर इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज हो जाएगा तो पीपल विल स्टार्ट टू डिपॉजिट द मनी इनटू द बैंक बिकॉज उनको भी बैंक से ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट रेट मिल रहा है. तो ये टाइट मनी पॉलिसी होगी जिसकी वजह से जो इंडिकेट करती है कि अगर इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ेगा तो इसका मतलब है कि सेंट्रल बैंक ने टाइट मनी पॉलिसी फॉलो की है. और ये जब फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो वो इन्फ्लेशन को हैंडल करने के लिए करते हैं. इन इंडिया डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग इज यूजफुल. डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग को हम काफ़ी पर्पसेस में यूज़ कर सकते हैं बट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स अगर हम उसको इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट के लिए यूज़ कर रहे हैं यानी गवर्नमेंट उसको ऐसी जगह पे इन्वेस्ट कर रही है जहाँ पर मोर एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट कर सकती है या फिर नेचर से कर रही है फर्दर फ्यूचर में डेवलपमेंट होगा. तो ऐसे पर्पसेस के लिए जब गवर्नमेंट करती है दैट इज इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट और उसका सबसे ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव रोल होता है. गवर्नमेंट उसको यूज़ कर सकती है अपने पब्लिक डेब्ट को रिमूव करने के लिए, बट इट विल हैव risky impacts in the future. That is why it should not be appreciated. Then there is adjustment of balance of payment. It is good to adjust the balance of payment by the budget of the government, but if they are financing it by another way, it will have a worse impact in the future. Reducing the foreign debt. This is also not the option. If you are paying a foreign debt by the deficit financing. Next question is, which of the following constitute capital account? So here we are going to see the capital account. So we have foreign loans in the capital account. We have FDI under the capital account. We have a portfolio investment यानी FII in the capital account. But the remittances जो कोई foreigners या फिर NRI जो इंडिया से बाहर जाके रहते हैं और वो कर इंडिया में गिफ्ट्स वगैरह कुछ भेजते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज प्राइवेट रेमिटेंसेस, और उसको करंट अकाउंट में कंसिडर करते हैं. तो कैपिटल अकाउंट में 1, 2 and 4. Question is, consider the following statements. Inflation benefits the debtors and second statement है inflation benefits the bondholders. अब हम एक सिचुएशन कंसिडर करते हैं कि 100 रुपीज है, वन पर्सन इज डेप्टर एंड वन इज बॉन्ड होल्डर. इस पर्सन के पास 100 रुपीज थे, ये ए पर्सन है और ये बी पर्सन है. इस ए पर्सन ने 100 रुपीज दे दिए हैं बी पर्सन को, और बी पर्सन ने एक बॉन्ड पे लिख के दे दिया है कि मैंने आपसे 100 रुपीज लिए हैं एंड मैं आपको 1 ईयर के बाद 10% इंटरेस्ट रेट के से रिटर्न कर दूंगा. अगर इन्फ्लेशन इंक्रीज हो गया तो अभी जो 100 रुपीज थे उस 100 रुपीज की वैल्यू रिड्यूस हो जाती है. तो जब 1 ईयर के बाद ये पर्सन बी इसको 10% इंटरेस्ट रेट इन्वॉल्व करके 110 भी रिटर्न करेगा, तो उस टाइम पे उसकी वैल्यू ₹100 से भी कम होगी. तो एक्चुअल में उसे कुछ इंटरेस्ट मिला ही नहीं होगा, बिकॉज अभी इन्फ्लेशन की वजह से जो वैल्यू है उसकी, जो उसने इनिशियली 100 रुपीज दिए थे, अब उसकी वैल्यू 1 ईयर के बाद 100 नहीं रह गई है इन्फ्लेशन की वजह से. यानी कुछ चीजें हैं जिनके प्राइजेस बढ़ गए हैं, तो अब उस 100 रुपीज की वैल्यू 90 रह गई है. तो इस वजह से डेब्ट, जिसने डेब्ट लिया था उसको तो बेनिफिट मिल जा रहा होता है, लेकिन जिसने जिसने वो लोन दिया था उसको इसमें लॉस होता है, क्योंकि मनी की वैल्यू कम हो जाती है. तो इन्फ्लेशन से किसको बेनिफिट होता है? जिसने डेब्ट लिया था, ना कि जिसको बॉन्ड होल्ड किया था. क्योंकि अगर उसने अभी 10% पे दिया था, 10% इंटरेस्ट रेट पे, अभी इन्फ्लेशन इज 5%, लेकिन लेट अस से कि जब उसने रिटर्न दिया तब इन्फ्लेशन इज 10%. तो इन्फ्लेशन अगर 10% हो जाएगा तो मनी की वैल्यू रिड्यूस हो जाएगी. इन्फ्लेशन से मनी की वैल्यू रिड्यूस हो जाती है, बिकॉज अभी आपके मनी इज कैपेबल ऑफ बाइंग लेस थिंग्स. दैट इज वाई इन्फ्लेशन हमेशा उनको बेनिफिट करते हैं जिन्होंने डेब्ट लिया होता है, और बॉन्ड होल्डर्स को लॉस होता है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज डिसगाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट. डिसगाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का मतलब होता है कि अगर आप उस एम्प्लॉयमेंट में एक पर्सन को ऐड भी करेंगे तो भी कुछ आउटपुट इंक्रीज नहीं होगा, आउटपुट विड रिमेन द सेम. तो हम ऑप्शन देख सकते हैं. लार्जर नंबर ऑफ पीपल रिमेन अनएम्प्लॉयड, not unemployed actually. Second is alternate employment is not available. Alternate तो हर केस में अवेलेबल होता है. Say you are working in agriculture, there might be some opportunity in industrial also. So this is also not correct. Next is marginal productivity of the labor is zero. It means if you will add some other labor in that employment, then it do not have any impact on the output. This is correct. Then is productivity of the workers is low. It is not about this. Next question is, consider the following statements. Liquid asset, we need to find the liquid asset and the order in the decreasing order of liquidity. So as we know that first the highest liquidity is currency. So we have fourth. Next is we have demand deposits, we have saving deposits. So demand deposits are more liquid. So then we have demand deposits. demand deposits, and then we have saving deposits, and time deposits have least liquidity. So 4132 based on किसकी liquidity ज़्यादा है, जो easily accessible या फिर exchangeable होती है in the market. Next question. In the context of Indian economy, open market operations. Open market operations are those operations जो RBI करती है on behalf of the government, जिससे गवर्नमेंट की सिक्योरिटीज को परचेज किया जाता है और सेल किया जाता है. So this is the correct option. Purchase and sale of the government securities by the. Next is priority sector lending by banks in India constitute the lending to. So priority sector lending में काफी सारे sectors आते हैं, and if we're going to look into the options, we have agriculture, we have micro and small enterprises, we have weaker sections. All these sections are considered under the priority sector lending, and there is a 40% criteria which is set up in the banks, like if it is a regional rural bank or other differentiated bank, they have to give this much amount of loans to these section of the society. And also the commercial banks have the 40% criteria to support agriculture, micro and small enterprises, weaker sections, education sector, uh, various other sectors. So all of these sectors are considered under the priority sector lending. Next question is, to obtain the full benefits of demographic dividend, what should India do? So to get the full benefits, the first option is promoting skill development. Second is introducing more social security schemes. This is not correct. Next is reducing infant mortality rate, privatization of higher education. The best option among them is to get the full benefits, we should promote skill development so that they can get employed and will work toward developing various sectors of India. Next question. A rise in general level of prices may be caused by. How come the level of prices can be rise? Let us say the first option is an increase in money supply. Let us say in the beginning we have 50 rupees in the economy, and later and we have one biscuit. But later what happened is we have 100 rupees and we have one biscuit. So this has increased the level of prices. So for this one biscuit, now we are spending 100 rupees. So due to the increase in the money supply, the level of price is increased because this output is remaining constant, one biscuit and one biscuit. Next is a decrease in the aggregate level of output. So let us say there is a scenario in which aggregate level of output is decreasing. So let us say output has decreased. We have some one output here, and we have 10 rupees. Let us say this we have two output and 10 rupees. We have one output and we also have 10 rupees. Then this also will increase the level of prices. We have to buy this with these 10 rupees because output is less, so its prices would increase. An increase in effective demand. So if the demand is increased, let us say the demand would be increased. So if the demand would be increased, then also the level of price would increase. All the options are correct. Next question. Which of the following groups of items is included in India's foreign exchange reserve? So foreign exchange reserve has various things, like we have gold here, we have special drawing rights which are provided by the IMF, by which we can take some loans from IMF, that is special drawing rights, and various currency assets which we have. These are under the foreign exchange reserve. First option is foreign currency assets, special drawing rights, we have this, but loans from the foreign countries is not a part of this. Loans are not part of this actually. Then foreign currency assets, gold holdings of RBI, and the STRs. Yeah, this is correct. All are part of the foreign exchange. Next question. Which of the following is likely to be most inflationary in its effect? सबसे ज़्यादा inflation किस में रहने की chances हैं. Repayment of public debt. If the government has some debt of the public, it will repay. It has some chances that अचानक से इकोनॉमी के अंदर मनी की सप्लाई बढ़ जाएगी, तो थोड़ा प्राइस के लेवल पर इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, पर थोड़ा इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा. इट विल हैव इम्पैक्ट बट नॉट मच. नेक्स्ट इज बोरिंग फ्रॉम द पब्लिक टू फाइनेंस अ बजट डेफिसिट. अगर पब्लिक से बोरो कर रहे हैं तो पब्लिक के अंदर तो इवन मनी रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. तो मनी अगर रिड्यूस होगा तो ऑब्वियसली इन्फ्लेशनरी तो नहीं होगा. नेक्स्ट इज बोरिंग फ्रॉम बैंक्स टू फाइनेंस अ बजट डेफिसिट. इसमें भी अगर पब्लिक से लेके बजट डेफिसिट को कंप्लीट किया है तो इकोनॉमी में मनी रिड्यूस होगा, not expansionary. Next is creating new money to finance the budget deficit. If new money को print किया गया है, then later on this money will come to the economy. We back to the economy. एंड इसके फिर नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट्स देखने को मिलेंगे. बहुत ज़्यादा करेंसी आ जाएगी, काफ़ी इन्फ्लेशनरी हो जाएगा ये फ्यूचर में. क्वेश्चन, द सप्लाई ऑफ मनी रिमेनिंग द सेम, सप्लाई इज सेम and there is an increase in demand of money. Let us say we have a potato and we are saying ki potato is 1 kg fixed, and in the beginning two people want this 1 kg of a potato, but later on the potato is 1 kg but 4 people wants this. What will happen? This 1 kg potato is 10 rupees per kg in the beginning. Later on it will get increased to 20 rupees per kg. Price of the potato will increase if there is more demand. So same will happen in case of money also. So supply of money remaining the same and increasing the demand of the money. Fall in the level of prices? No. Increase in the rate of interest of the money? Obviously. We will see that interest rate of the money would increase. Next question is, economic growth in country X will necessarily have to occur if. Economic growth will definitely occur if more capital formation would be there, more goods will be produced. So if more goods will be produced, then we are going to see more economic growth. Looking into the options, there is technical progress in the country, will have some impact. Obviously, technical progress in the country will have impacts. Then there is population growth. Cannot assure that population growth will lead to economic growth. Next is capital formation. This will definitely lead to growth because more capital will be formed. It can further be utilized in other productions in various sectors of the economy. Next is volume of the trade grows in the world economy. Trade growth will also have some impact in increasing the economic growth. There are some points in the questions which have some impacts, but the most important one is capital formation. Next question. The national income of a country for a given period is equal to them. Here we are going to look at the national income. First option is total value of goods and services produced by the nationals. If we are going to say that nationals, it means by the people who are the resident of India. Next option given is sum of the total consumption and the investment expenditure. This is a definition of GDP, wherein we are going to see what this is a method by which we can check how much GDP of a country. It is the expenditure method by which we can check that actual amount of the GDP. Next is sum of the personal income of all individuals. This is the income method by which we check GDP. So it is actually GDP because in GDP we are going to check that what is the income of all the individuals by checking that what is the profit of entrepreneurs, what is the wages of the labor, what is the interest given. This way we are going to check that what is the total personal income of all individuals. Next is money value of final goods and services produced. What is the final goods and services produced? That is value addition method by which we are going to check what is the GDP. So all the three, it means B, C, and D, these are the definitions of GDP. But if we are going to say that something which is produced by the nationals of any country, it means that it is national income only. So the first option is correct. Next is, which of the following grant direct credit assistance to the rural households? A regional rural bank is a kind of differentiated bank. There is some foundation on them or the restrictions on them, on their geographical locations, on the way they are going to provide loans, credit cards, debit cards. So there are various restrictions on them, and these banks are mainly aimed for the rural development. These differentiated banks. Next is NABARD. NABARD is a bank which refinance the loans. It usually refinance the loans of the regional rural banks, payment banks, and the other banks. So it do not provides the direct credit assistance. Land development banks, these provide direct assistance to the rural people. So regional rural banks and the land development banks. So we have 1 and 3. I hope you understand the questions well. Thank you for watching.